ले लो ले लो.
Richa,
Richa, right.
Richa यहाँ पे.
Right
Richa
side.
ma'am. Richa आपके left.
Thank you. Yeah, right. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Richa ma'am.
Okay. अरे थांबा ना.
चलो.
I'm going to come to.
All of you are sent out.
अरे खड़े करो ना.
Hello, everybody. I'm aware the people here are already doing remarkable work in this department. So, nothing that I will say will be new to you. But I'm really glad to be here as a representative of one of the oldest film industries in the world, where today films are being written for women and making money at the box office and changing a few perceptions that maybe only cinema can change, reaching the lowest common denominator. And I'm fortunate to be sharing the panel with people who have given their lives for the cause of compassion for total strangers. I think women's issues will remain women's issues till they are no longer issues, because nobody ever says men's issues, you know. So जब तक ये मुद्दा है तब तक ये बात रहेगी, और ज़रूरी नहीं कि इस लाइफ टाइम में कंप्लीट हो जाए, इस ज़िंदगी में हम इस चीज़ को मिटा पाएँ, क्योंकि सालों की कंडीशनिंग है, हज़ारों सालों का कल्चर है, पर हम कोशिश कर सकते हैं. और अगर मेरी माँ की लाइफ अपनी माँ से बेहतर हो सके और मेरी लाइफ मेरी माँ से बेहतर हो सके, then we have achieved something. Thank you.
Thank you. Richa, you've been vocal about shifting culture and culture in its role in fueling the fire of this epidemic. So, tell me your thoughts on what needs to be done for basic education for women. What's, in your perspective, what's left to do to achieve gender equality in India?
India is one of the few countries in the world where violence against women starts in the womb, before the girl is even born, with feet aside. So I think that we have to overcome our hypocrisy as a culture. एक तरफ तो हम नवरात्रि मनाते हैं, 9 days of fasting for the goddess. There's Durga Puja. There's all kinds of goddesses in India that are worshipped and praised, perhaps more than other cultures. But when it comes to our women, our daughters, wives, mothers, sisters, we have a completely different standard, and that's something that's baffled me since I was a child. More than educating the girls know that they are at par. We have to give them confidence that they can do whatever they want in the world. It's also about educating the men to not treat the women any differently, because it starts from there. It starts from the patriarch or the person in charge of this power who's condemning everybody else to a certain way of life. And it's basic shifts in attitude, and it will take a lot of time, because somewhere we are conditioned into thinking a certain way. And it's a very large topic, because it questions sort of culture, religion, tradition, and but I think it's time we question some stuff. If we don't question it, then who will? If somebody from outside questions it, then we get defensive, but we must question our own culture and use the best aspects of it. Like if goddess worship is your thing, that's the best aspect of your culture, then truly live it in every form, every way, and that we can.
You know, we're talking about the victims who are, but these are the victims who are coming forward. And, you know, one of the things that Ravi talked about earlier was a culture of silence and breaking the culture of silence. So clearly there's still a problem of underreporting. And so, Richa, I would like to throw this question to you. You know, what can be done in society, right? There's an issue of education around all of these things. What can be done to lift the social stigma on underreporting and on breaking that culture of silence?
There is definite underreporting because it is seen as a loss of dignity and honor. So most people would rather let their daughters or just live with that rather than come out in the open and discuss it. They don't want to be questioned. They don't want her to lose face or lose face in the society. Like the literal translation of rape in most of our movies and culture for the longest time was Izzat Lutna, which means to rob one's honor, or in English, to attack somebody's modesty. And this leads to things like, you know, the victim's name being hidden, and then this whole deal about how their privacy. In fact, it ought not to be the victim who should be ashamed because it was not her fault to begin with. And if we have to really change an attitude, we should maybe look at people who commit this crime and hold them accountable publicly and see what that does. Because I was sharing with you yesterday, there is a juvenile delinquent center between Mahim and Sion. I don't know how many people have seen it. I was shooting a film there called May or Charles, and I was just hanging out outside my trailer, and I met a guy who must have been between 15 and 17 years old, who was in there for rape. So then I asked him, I said, what did you do? He said, I raped my 11-year-old neighbor. I said, and are you regretful? He was like, yeah, I feel bad for her sometimes, but I didn't really want to study any further, and I didn't like where I lived. So I thought that in any case, if I'm 15 now, if I get 7 years of prison time, I'll still be young when I get out, and I can start over. That was his callous attitude towards harming another child so in such a horrible way. But and that place is such that if you are the company you keep, the kind of atmosphere, it is a reformation center, but oftentimes it appears to be like a jail. So then there is a definite change in the person the child that goes there and the adult that comes out, and they are not reformed at all. So, I mean, so much needs to be done at so many levels, but I think first we should erase this whole aspect of shame, because there's already a lot that the victim is dealing with. And in fact, when I read the statistics today about India, I would think they're easily double of what is there because of the underreporting.
Violence against women. Where does Bollywood stand?
Where does? I think Bollywood is not one entity. There are many people and they have different views. But by and large, I believe that there are a lot of sensible people in the Hindi film industry, and they will not stand for violence against women or children or trafficking in any way.
But there have been intellectuals who belong to NGOs and belonging to writing for the other journals. They have been saying continuously that Bollywood is the thing who represent women in a way of in a quite obscene way, and that is they just make Bollywood responsible for all this.
No, it's easy to blame Bollywood. It's easy to blame the films for what is going wrong in society, but you can't do that. Life imitates art, and art imitates life. It's a vicious circle. True that not all Bollywood films always depict women in the best light, but to counter that, we have more than enough films that also spread awareness about women, about their rights, about their sexuality, about their dignity, and I think that balances it out. And having said that, and one can only strive to be more responsible in the future. You can't undo things that happened before you were born. I hope that answers your question.
Richa, talking about the professional front, what's happening?
अरे क्या क्या कर रहे हो यार? This is a different venue.
Just to come up here and say what are the projects you're busy with?
I'm very busy, which is why I think we should talk about females first, gender violence. Any questions you have for Avan and Avan?
Lastly, what do you think should be done in a what should be the main things to be done to just cause all this?
Treat women as human beings and as equals. That's the only thing. Because if you don't do that, then you're neglecting half the population.
Ma'am, you're from Bollywood. In Bollywood, there are a lot of women working here, a part of
Yeah.
Bollywood. Especially pertaining to Bollywood, do you really think there are any kind of challenges or any such kind of instances which women face in Bollywood?
I think it's difficult because it is a male-dominated industry, but I think it's changing, and I do see a big change in the next 5 years with more directors and producers who will be female, as well as more directors and producers who will be male who are sensitive. That's the big change.
Richa, when you say that Bollywood is a male-dominated industry, so in a way, doesn't this hint that Bollywood
We are
can
living
be
in
a
a patriarchal industry. Should I, like, why don't you look at yourself? How many of you are women? Turn the mirror around. How many of you are women? I see only male cameramen and one lady holding a mic. We are living in a patriarchal society. We have to deal with it. We can't point fingers for the sake of sensationalizing.
very well said.
Thank you.
Thank you.